What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie Brody. So, this is my first video in a couple days. Had some stuff happen. One of those, holy crap, am I dying type things. So the very last video I filmed, luckily, that I uploaded, luckily I filmed the day before, and then had something to film, but then I had nothing to film because I was just not in it. But I'm in it now. I'm back. So, I got, while I was down and out, I got a package back from Billy Ford with this guy right here. This is my Cold Steel Mayhem where the tip bent. And a lot of people love to blame how thin and long the tip is. The tip isn't that long, and it's not ultra thin. I mean, you still have a hunk of steel there. You can see that bow right there, and it bent pretty far. It's got an S shape now because it was straightened, and then but not fully. It goes like this kind of, so I sent it to Billy Ford because I lost my train of thought. I sent it to Billy Ford, and Billy decided to check the heat treat because that's what he does. He does everything knife. So he measured the heat treat, and he found out that here to here, from this point to this point, is about 61 HRC. And I told everybody that when I was hacking with the knife and I was chopping wood, this performed excellently. This was awesome. It was nice and solid. It was great. And then one little throw, the same throw that the next knife I threw was a $10 Harbor Freight knife, no bending. The same throw, and it stuck. Perfect, beautiful throw. And everyone says, oh, well, they're blaming it on the tip, and this isn't made to be thrown, and blah, blah, blah. I've thrown over 500 knives, pretty close to 1,000 knives, different knives that I've thrown. And that's just with the channel. That's not even counting pre-channel. Now we're talking thousands of knives I've thrown. All kinds of knives. Folding knives, fixed knives, slip joints, collar locks. Every kind of knife you could think of, I've thrown. I throw swords and machetes, cane sword, katanas. I throw freaking everything. And it's very rare that something goes wrong. So I have a hard time blaming it on the throw and more on the steel. So getting back to Billy Ford, 61 HRC here to here. But the closer he got to the tip, it started to going down. And he got to around here and he hit 58. So what he's thinking, and I believe he's 100% right, is that during the grinding in the bevel, this area right here where it's thinner goes down a little further, So it seems like in the grind, they probably, I don't know if they heat treated the bar stock and then did the grinds, but it seems like in here got overheated. Wow, you could really feel that warp. Got overheated and ruined the heat treat in the tip. And this is a big problem with cold steel, is they have inconsistent heat treats, inconsistent edges. This isn't something I'm making up. This is just something that's fact. If you go through any of the videos on cold steel, you're always going to have yourself falling down. You're always going to have people talking about how, oh, no, I can't buy cold steel anymore because I bought it and mine was this and mine was that. It came dull as hell. They bent. This one snapped on me. You get it all the time. And then I had people telling me that the heat treat, the reason it bent was because the heat treat was done that way on purpose, so it would bend and not break. But then there's 5 people that commented when I did the original video boycotting cold steel knives. There's like 5 different people that said, oh yeah, mine snapped. So the people that said, oh no, it's supposed to bend. That's the way cold steel designed it, so it would bend on you. Come on, man. I mean, people really, if you're that much of a fanboy, just say you're a fanboy. You don't have to assume other people are stupid and they're going to believe you. So it's an inconsistent heat treat. I was right. The heat treat here to here is fan-frickin-tastic. It's really nice. They just cooked the edge. They just cooked, I mean, the tip, they cooked it. They cooked it. It made it softer than it should be. It is an inconsistent heat treat. It's one of those type things. Told you so. If this were a 61 all the way to here, that throw, this would not have bent. The XL Espada I had, the carbon steel version, a nice one, that I brought to Afghanistan and had forever. I've thrown that knife plenty of times. It is now in the very capable hands of Stefan Klaus in Austria, and that's his blade. He carries it with him like every day. And I've thrown that and never bent it. He doesn't have any problems with that knife either. Look at that. Look at the bend. So to all the people who cried and cried and cried because I said something negative about a cold steel knife that I love this knife. Somebody offered me money for it and I said, no, I want to keep it. I just want to hammer this back. I want to see if I can put it in between some acrylic pieces and see if I can't take a mallet and straighten it out even just a little bit more. I like the knife, but I hate cold steel. I will not buy another cold steel post merger. Even I want to say like 2 years prior, because even under Lynn it started falling apart. I mean, with this guy that I just did, and I haven't done anything to it except fix that. This is so bent and so warped. So it's not rattling as much, but this is a 10-year-old cold steel that is under knocking stuff down under the Lynn era. So it still has a little rattle to it, but it's not as bad. But it took a big chip right there. It took a big chip in the blade. I mean, any chip that you can see with the naked eye goes all the way through, and a fold. That's not good. It does have a bend in it, and that was before it was ever used at all. That's cold steel. That's cold steel. It's what you get. You're gonna spend way too much money on a piece that's a lot of times not going to be worth it, and a lot of times it is. My cold steel 4MAX is amazing. It's amazing. It's actually right freaking next to me because it's in my my favorites bag. So this knife right here is flawless. This is a made from Italy. This is a while back. This is years ago. Awesome freaking knife. Awesome freaking knife. And it's a cold steel. So it's not like I'm saying all cold steel are bad. What I'm sadly saying is if you get a cold steel, there is a good chance you can have something faulty in the knife. And the fact that this bent wasn't why I made the video boycotting cold steel. It's the fact that I called customer service and they didn't know the knife was thrown. So people say, well, of course they're not going to uphold the warranty because you threw it. They didn't know I threw it. They just knew it bent. And I mean, but cold steel fans are so ridiculously defensive and argumentative that no matter what you say, can't be cold steel. Can't be anything wrong with cold steel because they are the perfect. God sent cold steel to earth to please us. No, guess what? It's not true. It's not true. Cold steel has a lot of faults. But it was the fact that customer service, when I was on the phone with them, and they're saying, sorry, hey, we don't stand behind our knives. If you don't, I bought this knife from Cold Steel, from the Cold Steel vendor, from the Cold Steel factory. Not where they make them, because they make them, this was made in China, but the American Cold Steel factory that they have here, those are the people I bought it from. And I used a card, which means all they have to do, I gave them the exact date. I gave them the exact time when I got the knife, and they said, oh, there's no way we can look that up. Yes, there is. There absolutely is. You just punch in that date, you look up my name, and it will come up. But no. They said, no, we can't do that. You need proof of purchase. You need to have a receipt. I got it at Blade Show where they didn't give me a receipt. They gave me a knife for a little bit of money. That was it. So then I said, well, let me speak to your supervisor. And they said, oh, we can't transfer to a supervisor. I said, what do you mean you can't transfer? Just transfer me to a supervisor. It's impossible. That's what they told me. It was impossible to be transferred to a supervisor. Never, ever have I heard a business say that. You want to talk to a supervisor? Hold on. I'm going to put you on hold for 30 minutes just to piss you off, but we're going to get you a supervisor. That's fine. It's impossible, they said, to talk to a supervisor because they wanted to do nothing about the situation. They did not know how it bent. So all the, well, of course, they're just, because the way you're not supposed to use it like that. They didn't know how I used it. They had no idea. But still, they weren't standing behind their product. What that tells you is that this company has so many issues and so many complaints that they can't stand behind their product because they lose too much money having to either refund or give out new blades. That's the only reason they would do that. The only reason. You're not going to find that with Buck. You're not going to find that with Essie. You're not going to find that with Kratos knives. You got a problem, they're going to fix the problem. Just the way it is. So that's why I am boycotting. And I didn't tell other people. I never said to anyone else, you need to boycott Cold Steel. I mean, I wouldn't call you an idiot for doing it because, I mean, I might call you an idiot for buying under the new regime. But that's just the way it is. The Amigala. This was also sent by Billy Ford for me to play with. One of the things I noticed about it as soon as I put it in my hand, where is it? This one I'm sending to Scab so he can play with. This is the Jurgen Schanz Bulldog. You see how it's got that cool hump right there? What that hump does is just a thumb. It's for your thumb. It's to put your thumb on and get a good grip. This knife is so nice. When this is a humpback with a clip point, right? So when Billy Ford sent me this one, I was really impressed with it because it's a humpback with a drop point. So they're kind of leaf-shaped blades from, basically this one's more leaf-shaped than the other one, but that one is a leaf shape with a clip point. This one's more of just a leaf-shaped drop point. This knife is super cool. So he's going to let me test this one. This one's going to be fun. I can't wait. It does have a really good balance to it because the way it's done. Now, if, let's say this was flatter here, and then they did a ridge over here, and you see a lot of knives built this way, and it's really stupid. Like, they put the extra meat way up here, right? And I'm not talking about harpoons. I'm talking about a knife that, well, it might even come up, go that way, and then come up again. And they put all the weight right there. When you have top weight on a blade and you swing down, top weight wants to fold. So that's a good way to lose the knife out of your hand and hit yourself, or just completely lose it, hit your wrist, the thing could flip back on you. It's a really not a smart way to do a knife, and you're seeing a lot more and more of them. I don't understand it, when all you could do is just raise the weight here. You raise the weight here. Now what you have is central weighting. So if I need to carve and grind, all that right here is pushing through the grind. So it makes it really nice, really even. So I like this. I like the way it is. And I think that's cool. I think that's cool. And then somebody made a comment like, oh, he's only going to talk nice about the ones that people send him, or blah, 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 blah. All right, well, here's the thing. Scabber sent me a whole box of knives to play with. And one of the knives he sent me was a Jed Hornbeak knife. Jed Hornbeak is one of my top favorite designers, and he's one of my top makers, period. Jed Hornbeak is awesome. When I saw this design, I was like, no, how do you do that to a kukri? My first thought was, I'm going to hate this in the hand. I don't hate it in the hand. My second thought was, it's made for a right-handed person only. That's it. And that is one of those things. And I am one of those people that needs things to be even on both sides. So for that, I hated the design. I really did. I didn't test it though. So even if I hate the design, and everybody knows that I hate trackers, I hate harpoons, but if they work, I'll give them their due. I will say, okay, I might hate the design, but if it knifes, it knifes, period. So obviously this one is going to get tested and played with. And because it's made by Jed, I have no doubt in my mind that the thing is going to work. The guy is an absolute freaking master. So This one I don't have a lot of information on. I'll get more from Billy. I know it's just the Amigala, and that's all I know about it. And then that one came in. D-Bad Hognose. The D-Bad Hognose is pretty much done. I have to have a sheath made for it. If anybody wants to make a sheath on video for the D-Bad Hognose, I will. I don't know if you need it traced or if you need the knife, whatever. We can work something out where you can do some videos making the sheath and advertise yourself, and then obviously I will advertise it when the knife comes back. But if anybody wants to, let me know. If not, I'll get a sheath made for it. I am not a sheath maker. I'm not afraid to say it. I can make a sheath. I've made a few of them. Nothing to brag about. Nothing to brag about. But this is going to be fun. So the Hognose I made here. It's obviously this is my template. This is the one and only template ever made for it. So I sent it to Billy to heat treat, and he heat treated it, and then he's like, "Dude, what were you thinking about like a coating?" And I was just going to give it like a satin sand on it. That's all I was going to do. And he's like, "I could do a 24-hour Coke bath," and I'm like, "Okay, that sounds cool." And then he's like, "Hey, what were you thinking about doing for scales?" And I'd already measured out some white acrylic for it, and I was going to use these because I just had it laying around. So I was like, I was going to use whatever I had laying around the house. And he's like, "Well, do you like this? Do you like this?" I was like, "Yeah." He had some green G10. I'm like, green's my favorite color. Boom. He throws some scales. The guy was like, "All right, I'm." So it went from getting heat treated to getting heat treated with scales. So my Hognose is almost done. It'll get sent back whenever. I told him he could hold on to it for as long as he wants. He just did a video on it. So get over to Apex Alchemy. Alchemy is Alchemy. Apex Alchemy. That's Billy Ford's channel, and you can see the Hognose with the brand new scales on it and the awesome green pins. But I'll have to do this, get that going. This is just my first video because I wasn't probably feeling right enough to go out and probably swing today. But hopefully I'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll get it all going. I still got a whole bunch of stuff to go through, plus a whole bunch of stuff from Kratos Knives. Plus I have ADV Tactical. Plus I have another ADV Tactical that's coming. Plus I have the D-Bad Gladiator that's coming from KHHI. So we got a whole bunch of stuff. That's it for this one. I am Donnie B today. Until next video.